Now, the Duke of Sussex has claimed that he wants to reconcile with the King and the Prince of Wales in a trailer for a new interview to be broadcast this Sunday.
It comes ahead of the release of his much-anticipated memoir, Spare, published a week today. And here's what we can expect.
It needed to be this way. The leaking and the planting. I want a family, not an institution. They feel as though it's better to keep us somehow as the villains. They've shown absolutely no willingness to reconcile. I would like to get my father back. I would like to have my brother back.
Joining us now for more is the Royal and Showbiz reporter Kinsey Schofield. Happy New Year to you. Lovely to see you. Please, somebody give him some advice if he wants his father and his brother back to stop chucking mud at them.
I mean, no reconciliation attempts. Isabel, did any of us really think that Harry and Meghan would be invited to the Jubilee after that Oprah interview? An Oprah interview that was done while Prince William was on his deathbed? Did any of us assume that they would have such a prominent role in the Queen's funeral? I mean, to me, you look at those instances, that is an example, that is action of an attempt at reconciliation.
Absolutely. And this idea then that there has been, the silence is a betrayal and all these allegations that he's making, just adding more fuel to the fire. I mean, when's it going to end?
First of all, Isabel, I just have to stress that, silence is a betrayal is complete plagiarism from Martin Luther King Jr. So in classic Harry and Meghan form, grabbing those great quotes from people that in leadership roles from the past, very few moments of originality from either one of them. I think that this is just that victimhood that has become so financially, so significant for them. They have got to continue on this path. Because they have realized that that's a lucrative platform for them.
So in the UK, Tom Brady of ITN is a journalist who's known for many years, Harry, will do. But in the stateside, you've got Anderson Cooper, who's a bit of a legendary anchor. What can we expect from that? Is it going to be more of the kind of soft-soaping Oprah treatment, do you think?
I do think so. We have heard that all of the questions were submitted to Prince Harry and his camp prior to the interview itself. Anderson Cooper, the Daily Mail reporting and Valentine Lowe reporting yesterday that Anderson Cooper actually has a history with the royal family. I think it was his great-great aunt had an affair with Prince Harry's great-great-uncle. So there is some history there, some unique history. But Anderson Cooper, this is a great get for him. And I do think that he is going to ask some pretty shallow, anticipated questions. If you missed the Oprah interview, all you have to do is watch the Harry and Meghan documentary. If you missed the Oprah interview or Harry and Meghan documentary, all you have to do is read Spare or watch 60 Minutes. They are telling the same stories over and over again, very little detail, very vague, and we're not getting a lot of real information from them.
I don't know. I wonder if Tom Bradbury, who is a respected journalist over here in the UK, will have to be quite... he will have to walk a very tight line, won't he? Tight path between being the friend and the person in favour of Prince Harry and asking the journalistic questions that all of us expect of him. He's the presenter of News at 10 on ITV. He's a big anchor over here. I think it is slightly different in the States. Anderson Cooper can perhaps be a little bit softer. But I'd be very surprised if Tom Bradbury doesn't push back. And I think in many ways that interview could be more interesting than the book itself. I hope so, anyway. Yeah. Proper journalism.
I agree. I mean, from what we're hearing, he is much harder on Prince William than anyone else, which is the sense we got from the Netflix documentary, which is surprising because in the Apple Plus interview that he did with Oprah Winfrey, he kind of targeted his father. So where was that switch? What is the objective of that switch? I think that that's interesting to see that, to figure out why he's changed direction. Is it because the Sussexes need that royal connection to further their American brand?
You've struck the nail on the head. It strikes me that they've gone for the highest scalp they can at the time. So when the Queen was alive, that was his father. Now his father is the monarch. It has to be his brother. I mean, there's a calculation. Is that not your view?
It's absolutely my view, and it's so unfortunate, Isabel, because if you've studied the royal family, you know that Prince William has spent the majority of his life protecting his younger brother from his mother's mistakes, from his father's mistakes, shielding his eyes and ears because he wanted to protect his heart. And he is truly going after the one person in the world that has tried to make his life easier. And I think it's devastating, and I think it really does hurt Prince William. You know, I think it hurts him deeply. Unfortunately, or fortunately, we won't see that because he's an intensely private person. But Prince William has done everything in his, think about when Prince Harry came back from active duty, he was doing those press interviews. He was clearly frustrated. It was William that stepped in and pulled him back and told the media that the interviews were over. William has been fiercely protective of his brother, and to see Harry turn on him is deeply disappointing.
Well, Kinsey, the book Spare has already been marked down in price by quite a few major retailers in the UK. What's the anticipation of its arrival stateside? Are there going to be quite a few spare copies left there too?
Absolutely. Here in the States, it's available for free on Audible, on Amazon. If you don't have an Audible subscription already, you can get that for free. I do think that there is going to be a morbid curiosity with it. Like everything else, people are curious to see if he slams his family and if there are any specific details. But I don't think that it's going to be something earth-shattering. I don't think that this is going to be a positive element to his legacy. To continue to complain about the same thing for 3 years, it's time to grow up and move on.
The headline writer's dream, though, isn't it? Spare copies or spare us or spare
something else.
Yeah. There's lots of fun to be had with that.
Yeah.
Kinsey Schofield, always lovely to see you. Thanks very much for your time this morning.